Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In my today's video, I'm going to discuss with you about another cable company called JD Cable. We'll go to look at their recent result and go through the Concall summary and understand the main important points and my analysis and what do I think about it. But before we get into that, I'll just tell you a brief about the company, right? I know it's the name clearly tells it's in cables and wire. So what they do, they manufacture cable and wires and aluminium conductors, which is used in power and distribution of power. So that is their plain and simple business which they actually do. If you look at their number, right? So their H2 number came up and their revenue increased by almost 70% to 243 crores, and PAT was up by around 68% to 19.8 crores. And if you look for the whole year revenue, it grew by almost 46% to 365 crores, and PAT was up by almost 44% to 31.7 crores. If you look at the H2 revenue, it was quite good, and overall also it was decent. But if you ask me in terms of a small company, I think they could have done even much better, because when your base is small, I think there is a capacity to grow at a much higher rate. But I might be being too choosy. But let's see. So if you look at the revenue breakup, right? So the cable and wires contributed to around 252 crores to the revenue. Aluminium and conductors contributed to around 81 crores. And if you look from the capacity utilization perspective, right, which is also very important, because that shows that how efficiently the company is running and what option do they have in order to increase their revenue. So the unit one was around 82%, and the unit two had around 80 to 84% of capacity utilization. This shows the running literally running in terms of full capacity. So obviously, if they're running with the full capacity for this year, in order for them to grow the revenue, the only option is, to set up a new manufacturing facility, or increase the overall capacity. So if you look from that perspective, so they have an upcoming unit, which so currently their overall manufacturing capacity is around 28,000 kilometers of wires every year. So they are setting up a new facility, unit 3, which has an overall capacity of 28,000 kilometers. So that's almost 100% increase. And they're saying that how to say, unit has the capacity to double their revenue for the next 2 years. So this is actually quite a good sign, because we can clearly see that the company is doing something for the growth. But so for the next 2 years, the growth for the cables and wires and aluminum conduct looks quite stable. So that is one thing. And if you look from the revenue guidance perspective, the management gave a guidance growth of around 50 to 60%. The only thing I really did not like about the con call, or about the companies, right? In the con call, they said they are entering into infrastructure and EPC projects. So they have taken some national highway project near, I think, Bihar and West Bengal border. I don't remember, Bihar and Jharkhand, somewhere in the north side of India. So my only question is, right? See, you are a cables and wire company. There is so much potential in India. The demand is increasing, because electricity demand is increasing, the demand for data centers are increasing, and everywhere cables and wires are required, right? So when there is so much potential, why are you, how to say, diverting your focus from cables and wires and entering into infrastructure and EPC project? It just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, okay, they might have their own reason, but we need to understand, right? See, infrastructure and EPC are even more capex heavy, and how to say, you have to put the cost first, and the receivables takes a lot of time to come, which will put even more pressure on the overall working capital requirement. So for me, I mean, that is part and parcel of the EPC and infrastructure project. If it was an infrastructure and EPC project, I mean, I will not complain. But here, the company name is JD Cables Limited. They are into cables and wires. They are expanding their capacity to almost 100%, which will help to grow their revenue in the coming 2 years. Then why? And they are moving into a completely different, which doesn't even make sense to me, because there is still so much of potential. For me, that is one of the reasons which I really did not like. I mean, if you ask me in terms of revenue growth, it was decent at such a small space, and they're planning to double their capacity, which is also good, which will help them grow their revenue. But why are they diverting their focus from their main business? I think that is the biggest problem that I see in this business. And if I would have wanted to, I wouldn't have invested at all, because for me, a company that I want is the one which is focusing on their main business. rather than diverting their focus when there's already so much of opportunity over there. So that is my view and my analysis. And if you guys like it, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.